No, you're good. Because together we are stronger. Individually we are stronger. Remember, every single moment counts. Hello, my friends. Welcome to On Point with Rachel Turgeman. I'm so glad you can join us tonight. My friends, tonight we have three outstanding siblings right here on Point with Rachel Turgeman. Truly amazing siblings. The Eubanks siblings are all community and business leaders that are making an indelible positive imprint throughout our world. Joining us tonight is Ms. Cairo Eubanks, CEO of Cairo Speaks and Cairo Writes. Next, we have Mr. Dakar Eubanks, CEO of Dakar Marketing Tools. And following, we have Sudan Eubanks, founder of Reading with Royalty. Welcome. Welcome so much to On Point Richard Turgeman. I'm so glad that the three of you took time out of your very busy calendar to join us tonight. I'm sure that our viewers are super excited to hear what you have to say. Welcome.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for having us, Dr. Turgeman. The work that you do to highlight community servants is incredible, and we are so humbled that you've included us as part of your show, On Point with Rachel Turgeman. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cairo. And you're going to see before the show is over, or the interview, whatever you want to call this amazing opportunity, our viewers are going to love the three of you. Dakar, welcome again to On Point. How are you today?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you. And thank you very much for the opportunity of being on the show. It's truly an honor to be here.
It's my pleasure. Sudan, welcome. Welcome. You're the youngest one of the three siblings. Welcome. Welcome to On Point.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Rachel. It's an honor and such a privilege. I hope that we inspire some more youth to go out and make a difference tonight. Thank you again.
Thank you. I have no doubts. Talking about inspiration, let's begin with some teachable moments. You guys have amazing parents. Your father is Dr. Willis Eubanks. He's a scientist, cybersecurity expert, technology expert, and of course, your amazing mom, Dr. Diane Moore Eubanks, who's a reverend, attorney, chancellor of your university, Godzu, which we're going to talk about shortly. Talk to us, and I want to start with Cairo. The three of you, I want you to talk about what are some of the teachable moments that you've had in your upbringings that still resonate in your minds in growing up with your amazing parents? Cairo, let's begin with you.
Oh my goodness. If I were to choose two teachable moments, let's see. The first would have to be I learned the importance of going to conferences at a young age and being in spaces where I was oftentimes the youngest person in the room. I remember being 6 years old, handing out business cards at conferences, at seminars and workshops. And what that really helped me be able to do is to be very comfortable, feel very familiar with people either of different ages. So intergenerational conversations are oftentimes my favorite. And because I'm able to connect with people who are older than me and younger than me, it's really become a superpower of mine. I remember, so the work that I do, I'm really blessed to say that I'm the youth representative for New Future Foundation to the United Nations.
Oh yes, we're gonna get into all of that, but you have a teachable moment with your parents on that one?
Absolutely, yes. And what they would say is they would look, there was one official that I was speaking to at the UN headquarters, and they were saying, how can I get my kids to be like you? And I asked them, are you introducing your children, to different conferences? Are you getting them into network events and other opportunities for them to experience personal and professional development at a young age? And they said no. And I said, that's the problem. And so I have to say that I'm really grateful that my parents have, put us in those spaces and exposed us as well. And then I would say the second teachable moment, specifically for my mom, if you know my mom, you know that she says procrastination is a sin. You have to take action. You cannot sit down. I remember my mom is Jamaican, and so she would say, action, not a bag of words. That's like a song that we would sing in Jamaica and Kingston. And it's true. You have to take action. You can't just use a bunch of words, and you can't procrastinate, especially when God has called you to do what you're doing. So I would say that those are my two, and I'll just end it right here. Dakar, you have the floor.
Wait a minute, before you start, Dakar, I just want to comment on what you're saying.
Oh,
I mean, that's amazing because a lot of kids, and later on we're going to get to talk about both the programs with the Ambassador Juniors program that you have at Godzu, but a lot of kids are shy, you know, and believe it or not, I'm an introvert. Nobody believes me when I tell people that. Could you guys tell that I'm an introvert?
Not at all.
I'm an introvert, but because I know that I'm an introvert and I love people, I have to be an extrovert. So congratulations on the passing out cards. I'm observing your parents passing out cards and wanting to emulate them or mimic them as well. To me, that's amazing. God bless you, Cairo. Dakar, let's hear from you.
Yes, so I have two teachable moments. From a young age, I had the honor and privilege of being surrounded by entrepreneurs for most of my life. And I remember, like Her Excellency Kyle just said, I remember being in board meetings with my parents as early as 3 years old. And that taught me the importance of giving my children the right exposure to the best opportunity to teach them. And also, my second teachable moment was when I started my first business venture in 6th grade. I founded Dakar Kicks Restorations, and I would design, customize, and restore sneakers for my classmates and teammates. And that business venture ended because during my senior year of high school, due to the poor business practice, I would take on projects without account for cost, for the resources, for charging my clients for additional resources. And I remember knocking knocking on my mom's door, begging her uh, for some funds because my bank account went to a negative $700, and that
Well,
was
I bet she taught you a lesson after
yeah,
that.
that was a big deal because of the junior ambassador program with God's You. I made a deal with her that if I join God's You and the junior ambassador program, she'll be able to give me the funds, but not only just give me those funds, but teach me how to get good business practices and create more funds throughout the future. You know, teach me how to fish and not just give me the fish.
I love it. I love it. And for those of you that do not know, Dr. Diane Moore Eubanks, which happens to be these three amazing siblings' parents, she also worked for the White House under Bill Clinton, and she counseled the Navy as well, and the president. And so she's an amazing attorney. She's also a financial guru, financial expert. So there's a lot to learn from your mom and your dad too. Your dad is into STEM, and he's an educator as well. And then a little bit later on, we're going to get into Godzu, the university that your parents and all of you have built into an amazing e-learning empire. So Dan, let's hear about some of your teachable moments.
All right, so there are so many teaching moments, and I can definitely attest to it. My personal favorite is definitely from Dr. Dad, we like to call him. And when I was in 1st or 2nd grade, my dad asked me what I aspired to be when I grew up. And of course, I was so ambitious and excited. I started to make a long, long list that included the president, a ballerina, engineer, painter, scientist, singer. And the list went on until finally my amazing best dressed brother, Dakar, cut me off and said, Sudan, you can't do that. Choose one. And immediately my dad just looked at me and said, no, Sudan, you can be all of that and more. Do not limit yourself. And I don't know if my dad thought I would take it literally, but I really, truly did. And I'm now a freshman honors student going hopefully to be able to take my ACTs this summer, a pageant title holder, public speaker, business owner, and founder of Reading with Royalty. And it just goes to show that my dad was right on the nose. Yeah, my dad was right on the nose. That no matter,
literally right on point, without a doubt.
Right. Definitely, that no matter who you are and what age you are, you truly can do it all if you just put your mind to it.
Absolutely. Wow. What teachable moments. That's amazing. God bless you. I mean, I'm always going to be giving you your blessings because I love to see youngsters like the three of you that have a vision. And like you said, Cairo, you know, you cannot procrastinate because your mom taught you, the three of you, not to procrastinate. You want to do something, do it. Do not wait for tomorrow because tomorrow you don't know if you have time to do it today. So do it today instead of tomorrow, right?
Exactly.
So I think that's amazing. Now, let's talk about you, Cairo, and Dakar. When it comes to your educational background, I know that you studied at Cornell University. What did you study there,
So I
Cairo?
did negotiation mastery. I did a professional development course at Cornell University, and I also studied at Cornell College. So I went to both Cornells, you could say, and I studied international studies with concentration in Africana studies. I was able to get my honors thesis defended successfully, so I graduated with honors and distinction in 2017, cum laude as well. And I have a lot of different courses that I've taken, other programs that I've completed. But I guess, should I stop there?
No, I'm applauding you, and I'm sure that our viewers that are watching us are applauding you as well.
Oh, thank you. Well, one of my mentors, Mr. Danny Porte, or I should say Dr. Danny Porte, he always says that he believes in taking at least one fellowship or being a part of one program a year. And so I've been able to do that. I've done an average of about 2 programs a year, either fellowships or more. And I've also been really blessed to say that I was able to get college credits at Colorado State University when I studied abroad with semester at sea, and I got to travel to over 10 different countries, starting in Germany, going to Greece, Italy, Spain, Morocco, Senegal, Brazil, Peru, Ecuador, Trinidad, Costa Rica.
Well, where haven't you gone, sweetheart? That's the question I should have asked you.
Yeah, you could have asked me. But you know what I've learned from that experience is just that education is all around us, and we can learn from one another. We don't necessarily have to be in a classroom setting, although I am like a teacher's pet, and I love being able to learn from my teachers and my mentors, and then pass that knowledge on to the community. But you really can learn from everyone. I learn from Sudan and Dakar every single day.
That's beautiful. And it's true. I've learned in my life that I learned every single day too. You know, the only one that knows everything that's going on and has all the knowledge is one. Which one?
God.
Our God Almighty is the only one that knows everything. Yep. Kyra, I'm going to ask you to lower your camera a little bit because I think your head's cutting off a little bit.
Oh, no. Can you? What about now?
A little bit. Okay, that's better. What do you think? Production? That's fine. That's perfect.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you for the feedback. I think it might have gotten a little bit turned, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
It's all the energy that we have here, this positive energy that we're feeling from our viewers, and we're giving it back to our viewers. Viewers, we love you.
I feel it.
Dakar, I know that you studied business administration. Why did you want to study that? Talk to us.
Yes. So, as I said earlier, all my life I've been surrounded around different entrepreneurs, my parents. There are different people they worked with, so I knew business was something I wanted to go into. So after my high school career of being an honor roll student athlete in both varsity basketball and volleyball, I attended Broward County College, and I went for an AA in business administration.
Awesome. And let me ask you this, though. Mm-hmm. In your experience in studying with your degree in business administration and at such an early age, being influenced by your parents to be your own entrepreneur, what have you learned? And I know we probably need like 10 hours, but succinctly, what have you learned from your first business, which is Dakar's Kicks Restoration, which was restoring sneakers and designing sneakers? I know you've traveled a lot with a lot of journey and a lot of history, but if you would have to say one thing that you've learned from when you were a little kid to where you are now, what is that? Talk to our viewers.
Oh, yes. So the biggest thing I learned is that you can always learn and continue learning, and you can learn from experience or from as Cairo was saying, how she learned going to the conferences at such a young age. Yes. And observing. So that's something that I learned.
And I love that because, I'm sure that some of our viewers can relate to this. Sometimes we're so busy trying to run our mouths that we don't stop to listen to others. And we can learn so much from listening to others. I mean, I know I can relate to what you're saying, Dakar. I learned so much just by listening to my colleagues, to my friends, to my family members, to anybody. You can listen to anybody. It doesn't matter what position, what career we have studied. What matters is that no matter what we have chosen to do, whether to be a waiter, a doctor, engineer, or lawyer that you're going to be, Cairo, we have to be the best at it. And that's what my mother and dad taught us. So I wanted to share that with you. So Dan, are you 14 or 15?
I'm 14, turning 15 in 6 months.
Excellent. So you're 14 years old. My God, what would I do if I was only 14 years old? I mean, that is amazing. So you're still in high school. You're a freshman in high school. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Talk to us about, what do you want to study? I mean, you're only 14 years old. Have you thought about it yet? Talk to us.
Oh my goodness. If you ask any of my family, they'll definitely say, she's definitely thought about it. She's thought it through and through. So I'm a big time planner when it comes to my future. And so I already kind of have a template of what I want the next 8 years to look like educationally. And so this year, I hope to do a dual enrollment program at Broward College and be able to rack up enough college credits, hopefully graduating with an associate's degree, fingers crossed. And then in the next 3 to 4 years, I'd like to follow my mom's footsteps and attend Georgetown University with a major in international relations, which will prepare me for my dream occupation as a United Nations diplomat.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the big dream.
Amazing. Another big round of applause. That is, join me, guys. And I'm sure our viewers are applauding either in their offices or homes at this time. That is wonderful. And later on, when we get to your accomplishments, all of you, you already have a head start with United Nations. So I think that what you want to study in international relations, also following your sister's footprints, Cairo, who did study international relations. I mean, you guys are a powerhouse family. There's no doubt about that. Hold your thoughts. I'm going to tell you thank you to all our advertisers. And when we get back, I want to talk about your accomplishments.
Mm-hmm.
So special thanks to our VIP advertisers, for without them, this show would not be possible. We begin with the Jose Milton Foundation. Thank you, Anna Vega Milton, President and CEO, for all the altruistic work you do. Thank you for building the new Jose Milton Memorial Hospital, Jackson Memorial Hospital West, for your amazing work with the Red Cross, scholarships for our youth, and the list goes on. Jackson Health Foundation. A big shout out to co-president Charmaine Gatlin Flavelliso and their stellar team for doing an outstanding job in raising funds for the best hospital throughout our nation, Jackson Health System, making miracles every day. Catholic Hospice and Catholic Palliative Care Services. A big shout out to Executive Director Diane Backoff, Medical Director Dr. Tracy Romanello, and of course, my dear friend, Jessica Joseph, Manager of Philanthropy and Public Relations, and their awesome team. Thank you for preserving comfort and dignity for people that are very ill and their family members. Synovus Bank. A big shout out to Armando Trabanco, Regional Retail Manager for Southeast Florida, in business for more than 130 years. Synovus is a financial services company that came from humble beginnings in Georgia. Today, Synovus Bank is committed to supporting our communities in over 300 locations across the Southeast, including our South Florida footprint. Synovus is here for you to safely meet your banking, lending, and investing needs. Hashtag the Bank of Here. For more information about Synovus products, services, and locations, please visit www.synovus.com. United Home Care. A big shout out to Carlos Martinez, President and CEO. Another big shout out to Alina Palenzuela, Blanca Ceballos, and the rest of their stellar team. Thank you for keeping our older adults home with excellent healthcare services, because there's no place like home. Frida Alcasan Arsadan, our Asian American healthcare hero, invites other multicultural healthcare heroes to promote unity, understanding, respect, and tolerance among all. Marie Torres and CPA business owners. She will grow your business exponentially with a 360-degree view of your financial and operational performance. Call and make an appointment. Global Ovid Day Seminary and University, known as GodZoo, empowering entrepreneurs to become financially independent to transcend into generational prosperity. Also earn your chaplaincy or cybersecurity certification. Contact GodZoo. And today we have the three siblings, Cairo, Dakar, and Sudan Eubanks. We love you all three. Meet Alessa Billiard, your corporate and personal psychologist and psychotherapist, to solve your business and personal hurdles. Give her a call and effectuate positive change. Jewish University System, a big shout out to founder Dr. Jorge Alfonso and Lucy Alfonso, president and CEO. Now you can earn your doctoral degree in education or psychology with religious modifiers. Contact Jewish University System. Metro Mommy Agency, for all of your pregnant support before, during, and after. Call Metro Mommy Agency. They provide childbirth and education, labor support, doulas, breastfeeding support, night nurses, and the list goes on. With Metro Mommy Agency, you can birth better and begin parenting with confidence. Light of the World Clinic, thank you, Elaine Miss Ellie Vasquez, brainchild of Light of the World Clinic, for providing free healthcare services to economically disadvantaged families in Broward County, Florida. Again, a special thank you to all of our VIP advertisers. We love you very much, because without you, the show would not be possible. Getting back to our Eubanks siblings, let's now talk about the accomplishments. And believe me, my friends, these youth, these legendary youth siblings and leaders are just making leaps and bounds of change, effectuating change, not only here locally, but nationally and internationally. So I want to hear about some of your accomplishments. Again, we don't have a lot of time, so we cannot spend here another 10 hours. But, Kyra, I would like to start with you. Let's talk about your accomplishments. Talk to our viewers. Go ahead.
Well, thank you so much. I will say before I begin, and I'll just share a few accomplishments that I'm particularly proud of. It's really my duty and obligation, I feel as though, because I've had so many opportunities to travel the world, to work with local and international servant leaders like yourself, Dr. Turgeman, and it's important for me to make sure that in the same way in which I've been blessed with these opportunities, I have to give back. So one accomplishment that I want to share that I'm particularly proud of is that I'm the youth representative for New Future Foundation to the United Nations, and I'm also committee member of the United Nations Department of Global Communications in their Youth Steering Committee. So that is comprised of about 27 youth representatives who've been selected to oversee about 800 active and engaged youth representatives around the world. So there are ECOSOC accredited NGOs that are affiliated with the United Nations, and they all have youth representatives. And so each of those youth representatives, they have an opportunity to be a part of this committee. And I have to say, I'm really blessed to have been a part of this since September 2020. So it's been a year, and I've been able to affect a lot of change on the committee. I've spearheaded several, either spearheaded or, was a huge part of several programs that we had, leading the first event that we had, hashtag Leave No One Behind. And we're also working on a youth interview series called Storytelling with a Purpose, which is a project that I'm so honored to have spearheaded, and I'm also co-leading as a co-host.
I love it.
And so that's it.
And let me just interrupt you right there for a second, because I'm sure that our viewers are assimilating and internalizing, what you are actually saying, Cairo. And to be what? You're 25. How old are you?
I turned 26 this year. So
26.
I'm older.
I mean, to me, I know we're not supposed to ask people's ages, but all of you are very young, at least a lot younger than I am. But what I'm trying to say is that I'm very, very proud of you. And then I'm going to say like a million times before the interview is over. But the fact that you and your siblings belong to this New Future Foundation and the United Nations, I mean, that's amazing. Because when you analyze it, how many kids would like to have that, that opportunity, right? But for some reason, it's it's very difficult to get there. So, you have been very, very blessed to have gotten there. And I'm sure that you could inspire and train and influence so many other kids to get to where you have been and to where you are going and to where you are.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's all about inspiring people, giving people inspiration.
Absolutely. I mean, I want to say that what you said was actually on point. Literally, since we're on point with Rachel Turgeman, we're on this show right now. But what you said was truly on point, because that is exactly why I founded Bringing the World to Florida as an international virtual student exchange program, because I had 3 areas that I wanted to cover for high school students, both here in the state of Florida and connecting them internationally and virtually to students in South Africa, in India, Jamaica, and other countries. And there are 3 components, there are 3 reasons, because I wanted to provide access, exposure, and opportunity. So when it comes when it comes to exposure, there's an online self-paced course with modules that talk about different topics such as confidence, identity, the idea of telling your story with a purpose, and more. And then with Access, with Bringing the World to Florida, there are town hall style meetings with seminars and workshops with some subject matter experts that really dive deeper into program curriculum and allows the students to really interact with each other and literally create a virtual exchange. And then with the opportunities, this is where we were talking about just now in terms of, having access to different conferences, different events that are going on, both at the United Nations on an international scale, and then locally with, different organizations like the United Way of Broward and more. It's because I realized, as I said before, going back to what I said first, I have been blessed to have had these connections and to be able to connect, what I'm doing locally and globally and bring the world.
Oops, I think you froze. So Dan, can you hear me in Dakar?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, so she froze. I'm sure she'll come back. Now, this is amazing what your sister has been involved with, Sudan and Dakar. And I know that you guys are also involved. Sudan, let's begin with you.
Oh, yes, of course. So this year alone, even through the pandemic, I've been able and blessed to be able to volunteer with.
And pass along that information.
Oh, there she is. Okay, I didn't think she realized that she's back. Okay, here we go. Technical difficulties. What can I say, my friends? You have frozen a little bit.
Oh,
Cairo, I'm so sorry. I'm so much glad that you're back. It's okay. Sudan has your back. What I wanted to mention, and I mentioned it before, is that fact that what you have done with your siblings, being a member of the United Nations, of the NGO, New Future Foundation, it sounds like what you're bringing home, Bringing the World to Florida program, that you are basically developing future leaders of tomorrow.
Absolutely. With access, exposure, and opportunities. So through just being able to be that network connector, I think of myself as a liaison for strategic partnerships in all different areas, including Reading with Royalty, which I know Sudan is going to talk a little bit more about, but it's really just my duty. It's a privilege, it's an honor.
And just getting back to that, especially now with the pandemic, which has changed all of our lives. A lot of people don't want to do a lot of traveling, and rightfully so, because we have to, prove to ourselves that we have to be vigilant, keep our social distance, wear a mask, cool it on the traveling. I believe that because I've lost a lot of my friends, dear friends. So I like the fact that you created this, Bringing the World to Florida, Cairo, to the world, because they don't have to travel on an airplane, anything. You're bringing everything virtually. And I'm sure that you're going to be mobilizing a lot of community leaders, not only here in South Florida, but around the world to help you. And I know that you're going to have a lot of entrepreneurs coming on and talking to the kids, and you're going to teach them about, writing and speaking and enunciation and just everything. So parents, if parents want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to look at your website? Where should they go?
bringingtheglobe.com. So bringingtheglobe.com, or you can email info@bringingtheglobe.com. And you're so right. There are different topics that have been created for students already, such as storytelling with a purpose, this idea of telling your story with a purpose, being able to identify what your identity is, because your identity helps you navigate this world, and just cultivating that confidence within them, and then going deeper into these topics and having them actually exchange with one another in town hall style meetings with seminars and workshops and more.
Amazing.
So
amazing.
Yeah,
no wonder you guys own an amazing e-learning university, higher learning education university. We're going to talk about it shortly. Go ahead, Sudan. Talk to us about some of your accomplishments. My God, you're the smallest of all of them. You're only 14 years old. And already, my friends, viewers, take notes. Already, this child is a star. Talk to us, Sudan. God bless you.
Yes, so I was saying before about how this year alone, through the pandemic, I've been blessed to be able to volunteer with over 15 organizations, including the New Future Foundation, Inc., a United Nations non-governmental organization, to donate computers and tablets to disadvantaged children in Kingston, Jamaica. Through that process, I've been able to rack up so many volunteer hours. It has made me eligible to be awarded the Lifetime Service Award, which was granted by the President of the United States, and also be able to get a proclamation by our former Broward County Mayor, former Mayor Dale Holness. So mark your calendars. December 11th, 2021 is officially Sudan Eubanks Day in Broward County. And then also currently, as Cairo alluded to earlier, I've improved our global community all virtually by founding and trademarking Reading with Royalty. Royalty is an initiative that has partnered with select Children's Miracle Network hospitals with over 500 readers from 50 states, 2 U.S. territories, and 5 countries: Canada, Australia, Greece, England, and the Netherlands. Through Reading with Royalty, volunteers are able to read to children at various hospitals and schools, all virtually. And without my sister Cairo, we are really a network as siblings. This progress with Reading with Royalty wouldn't have been possible. I'm so grateful to her for being the strategic liaison for Reading with Royalty. When I first shared my vision of a virtual reading program with her, she leveraged her title as Miss Broward County 2020 with Miss America to facilitate the partnership of our First Children's Hospital Foundation, including our biggest partner, Nicholas Children's Hospital Foundation. Their headquarters are located right in the heart of Miami, Florida. And Carol was also the first reader and title holder that Reading with Royalty had. So as I said before, without the network, throughout us as siblings, none of our endeavors would be made possible.
Wow. Usually all my viewers know that I'm not speechless. I'm very loquacious, but all I can say is wow. And I think we were talking about earlier that you also own a company, Dolls, Sudan Dolls. Would you want to talk about that too?
So Sudan Dolls, I first launched that company when I was just 8 years old. Like my brother and sister were talking about before, our parents really put us out on a platform where we were able to collaborate with with billionaire builders, with entrepreneurs, with those people that are out there like yourself, Dr. Turgeman. People like you. I was able to get in contact with them as little as 8 years old. And so when I saw that there weren't a lot of dolls that looked like me and my hair, my skin color, I said, wow, there are millions of girls like this that must be feeling like me. And so I said, instead of, just complaining about the problem, let me make a solution. And so I launched Sudan Dolls that have ethnically diverse dolls for all kids to share.
I love it. God bless you, Mr. Entrepreneur at age 14. It's just crazy. And you started this at age 8?
At age 8, yes, ma'am.
At age 8, and now you have Reading with Royalty. I love that program, Reading with Royalty, especially because you have so many children in hospitals all over the world. And it gets kind of lonely. I remember that my daughter, a long time ago, and I know she's watching all the way from Israel. We love you, Rosetta, and all of you know my daughter, Rosetta.
Love you. Hi.
Love you. Rosetta and Star, her boyfriend over there in Israel, they're watching. She got very sick one time, and we had to take her to Children's Hospital as well. And, it's important to have activities. And the fact that you and Cairo and Dakar, you came up with this idea of reading with Royalty for our children and putting it in all the rooms of the kids. And it's all educational. As a matter of fact, I did have an opportunity to contact somebody that I love dearly, that I consider her my sister, somebody that I admire, that I respect, Anna Vega Milton. I did reach out to her as I promised, and she loved the idea, and she's reaching out to one of our hospitals affiliated with Jackson Health System, the Holt Children's Hospital, and she's going to connect us with the right person to talk to. So Anna Vega Milton, we love you as always.
Thank you
Coming through for our community and for our children. So Dakar, let's talk about you. When did you decide that you wanted to create Dakar Marketing Tools? Tell us.
Yes. So I mentioned about Dakar, my first company I started at 6th grade, Dakar Kicks Restorations, and it's actually when that business venture closed, another opened, because when I volunteered with God You as being as a mentor, as being mentored by our different phenomenal alum, I was given many mentors, and I was taught the different venues of business. And when our current graphic artist had a health issue that made her unable to proceed in the different graphic design. I was only supposed to help out with the flyer for a graduation that was in a week from the time, and people liked my graphic designing so well, so much. I did such a great job on the graphics that people paid per person to be on the flyer. And my mom, Dr. Diane, said, "Oh, you should make this a business. You can continue to learn graphic design, and you can really turn this into a business." So that's what I did, and about 6 years later, here we are.
I love it. I love this, Dakar, because I'm sure that a lot of parents, out there that are watching you, that are listening to you on all the podcasts, I'm sure that they're going to say to themselves, you know what? That's the way I am. I am like Dr. Willis Eubanks, your dad, and I am like Dr. Diane Moore Eubanks too, like your mom. I'm constantly pushing, our kids. I'm sure this is what our viewers are saying. You have to push, 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 and someday all of you are going to be blessed with children as well. And do exactly what your parents did for you guys. Push, push, push. And Dakar, I want to compliment you. I've been on your website. I see that you are helping businesses brand in every single way you can think of, whether it's flyers, whether it's cards, whether it's wraparound designs for their cars, brochures, videotaping and editing their videos. And I mean, you are just, one man shop, making it so incredible for our business, either present or future leaders of tomorrow, to excel, to exceed. Because let's face it, unless you have those marketing tools, people won't know. So you have to have cards. You need to wrap around to put around cars, right? Because sometimes we get bored, stopping at a red light. We see it. Oh, look, that's the business I need to call. So you have a brilliant idea. It is your brainchild, and congratulations for having Dakar marketing tools. What's your website so that the podcast viewers can also, or listeners can also know about your podcast? What is it? What's your website?
Absolutely. My website is dakarmarketingtools.com. And also, I do have a QR code with my digital business card. You can see there. You can take a screenshot of it, or you can hold up your phone on your phone camera. It'll guide you with not only my website, but other ways of contacting us.
That's amazing. And now I want to direct this one question to the three of you, and we can start with Sudan. Sudan, I've noticed that you guys have you both co-host, or the three of you sometimes co-host. I know that your mother co-hosts, your father, everybody co-hosts a show. God's Who Success, Teach and Pray. Where did you develop? How did you develop this love for God, which I love because I love God? Talk to us, Sudan.
Yes, so it really started off in my foundation, in my upbringing with my family. I remember all three of the siblings were born in the DMV, Maryland area. And so I remember waking up early and then going to my Christian school. My Christian school was not just like any other Christian school. My school was literally attached to a church. So whenever I'd pass by for lunch, we would see the church and we would, pray and everything. And so creating that foundation with God has definitely helped me in other areas of my life. It really guides me. It's also a big reason for why I am, such a big advocate for community service, because God says we should be community leaders. We should be servants for the community and make a good name for Him. So
I love it.
That's my main reason for why I am so into my Christianity and why I believe in God so much.
I love it. And you see all the success that God has brought you at such an early age, 14. Did you want to add anything, Cairo?
Absolutely. I would say, we grew up in a faith-filled house. So, it definitely starts there. It starts at home. It begins at home. And I'll never forget, I took a class called Religions of the World with Professor Joseph Mueller. I spoke with him yesterday, actually, on the phone for about an hour. We have monthly calls where we just catch up and we talk about spirituality and all things God. And he really opened my eyes to realize that God is within each and every one of us. I mean, when you think about the different religions, we may have a different way of referring to God. We may say Creator, we may say Yahweh, we may say Allah, we may say God, but at the end of the day, we're all working towards God. And so when I think about God's youth, for example, Global Ovid Day Seminary and University, our interfaith e-learning institution, knowing that God is within that name, it inspires me to know more about God and to connect more with him through meditation, prayer, and also conversations, spiritual conversations as well.
I love it. Dakar, did you want to add anything about having so much faith in God?
Yeah, so myself and Cairo, we went to different Christian private schools growing up, and also uh, with being on the God Success Teach and Pray, where I'm an MC and one of the co-hosts.
I
We
love it.
we have 12 different co-hosts, and we're on every day at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard
Nice
Time.
and early. I love it.
Yes.
And I've joined you many times. I love your inspirational speeches. The guests that you have are amazing. And it's just all this beautiful power, energy, synergy that you bring every morning to so many homes. I want to thank you for that. Cairo, I want to address this question to you. The three of you have helped your parents build the best e-learning, higher learning, e-learning educational institute around our globe, Global Overday Seminary and University. Talk to us about that. And I want to begin with you. How does it feel to be part of such a stellar educational institution that's global? Talk to us.
I have to say, Dr. Turgeman, that it truly feels incredible to get to be a part of the legacy of God's youth and get to be part of something bigger than myself. You know, we talk about this idea of leaving an inheritance for not just your children, but your children's children and even your children's children's children. And knowing that I can be a part of an organization and each interfaith e-learning institution that was made to connect global workers of God and be able to create interfaith and entrepreneurship bridges, like bridging these gaps. It's amazing. And I think about the name God's You and a global worker of God. So we use the words Global Ovid Day, global workers of God. And our names are so powerful, as you know, Dr.
Yes.
Turgeman, and it acts as a prophecy. So being a part of God's You is really a self-fulfilling prophecy because God's You, as I said before, inspires me to do more and to be more. I have, incredible mentors who are corporate CEOs, faith leaders, educators, and it's made me a better person as a result of being a part of God's You. So I mean, it's just it really feels
It's
like
beautiful.
This exclusive
It's beautiful
network.
because within the university you have God embedded in your university. You have amazing programs, which I'm going to ask you shortly. But Sudan, as being the smallest sibling there, talk to us about how does it feel to be part of this amazing e-learning institution and how you and your siblings and your parents, as one voice, one family, building this amazing e-learning institution. Talk to us.
It just feels so empowering and amazing. Being part of God's U allows for so many learning opportunities. Like, for example, at God's U, we make sure to make a difference both domestically and internationally. I would say personally, as part of the God's U Youth Ambassador Program, along with others, I was able to participate as a youth volunteer for New Future Foundation, Inc., the Jamaican chapter, which is part of a United Nations NGO. And the work NFFI does is to help bridge the socioeconomic gap through donating printers, tablets, professional clothing items, and professional clothing items to disadvantaged children in Jamaica. We were able to be able to donate to two high schools, and then a children's home. And they were so grateful. And actually, yes, and actually, really nice story was that later, after receiving the donations, the school sent back photos of smiling children, tablets in hand, along with the sign reading, "God's You has been a godsend." And I always get emotional saying the story because one mother was telling us about how her 15-year-old daughter wouldn't be able to attend virtual school without our contributions. And I was truly, truly able to see the effects of our good doing and seeing how much we positively impacted people's lives. And I just want to say a quick shout out. None of this would have been possible without the hard work and the dedication of the God's You board, deans, alum, and leadership. So just thank you so, so much. Those kids were so grateful. They sent back so many smiling pictures. And I remember the day that we got the photos. It was Dr. Diane, mom, and Cairo and I. She was running around the house saying, look what they sent us, look what they sent us. And she was bawling.
Oh,
Complete
that's
meltdown.
beautiful. You know what I've noticed here, guys, is that you're changing lives in a positive way, one by one, locally, nationally, and internationally. That to me is beautiful. Quickly, Takar, because I want to get to some of the degrees that you're offering at Godzu. What about you? I mean, look at you. You look like a GQ amazing model magazine. Yeah. That's what, I always see you dressed so well all the time. What message would you like to give to the gentlemen, young gentlemen like you, about appearance and dressing up? Talk to us about that.
Oh yes, thank you. So yes, I actually during the God Success Teach and Pray, I don't know, we've been doing it for several years, and if you look at the earlier videos, I didn't look so GQ as you but
well, you're looking GQ now.
Oh yes, thank you. Yes, so like growing over the years, I started to really look into menswear and really see how to use it as a tool. So like that's become one of my my signatures, and that's funny you mentioned that, because that's something I want to go into and help teach children how to tie your tie and how to have a nice shine on your shoe for when you're going for an interview.
Very important.
Job interview and everything.
My mother taught me, and I'm sure your parents taught you guys, and I'm sure our viewers can relate to this, and probably our viewers are teaching their children and grandchildren this. You dress for success. You never have a second chance, my friends, to make another first impression. Only one first impression, and that's it. So you can't blow it. You have to look like all three of you. GQ, outstanding. Quickly, Kyra, because we're running out of time, talk to us about some of the degrees and certifications at Godzu. Tell us.
All right, I just wanted to make sure the Ethernet cable was in properly. Okay.
I know we've been having technical difficulty with the Ethernet, but at least their voices are coming through, which is fine. Go ahead.
Amen. Okay, I'll go through it as quickly as I can, but it's also as comprehensively as I can. So,
go ahead.
Global Ovid Day Seminary and University, or GodU, is a web-based interfaith e-learning institution, and is divided into a university, which is godsu.org, and Global Bible Institute, which is globalbibleinstitute.org. GodU's educational institutions offer chaplaincy certifications, cybersecurity certifications, and also earn degrees from the associate's level through the doctoral level. GodU operates at the intersection of collaborative e-commerce, digital branding, interfaith respect, and stresses Afrocentric education, leadership, entrepreneurship, global citizenship, and technology through our online and live platform with degree programs, certifications, master classes, self-studies, conferences, live courses, and strategic partnerships with business icons. And so we have different programs, but our most popular program is our chaplaincy program. And chaplains, people may be wondering, what is a chaplain? Chaplains are essentially empathetic, trained leaders attached to either spiritual and or secular institution and organization. We offer several chaplaincy programs, including the Christian chaplaincy program, the interfaith. We also have a Islamic chaplaincy program. And then we have several chaplaincy programs that we're unveiling in December, which include the medical health and wellness chaplaincy program, the personal mastery program, and also global entrepreneur and business marketplace, because we believe that you can be able to use this information in the marketplace or wherever you may be.
That's amazing. All those chaplaincy programs are right on point. I know that I have a lot of viewers in the medical field. To all my nurse practitioners that are watching, to all my doctors that are watching, you would not, and I'm talking directly to the medical field now, You would not be a doctor or nurse practitioner or nurse or medical assistant if it wasn't because you have so much love for humanity, for curing, for people's well-being. That being said, I strongly suggest that you do contact Godzu because you might want to get your certification on that chaplaincy, which is perfect. Now, what do you get with that? You get a badge, a beautiful badge. Talk to us quickly about that.
Yes. There are different there are different incentives as well to have a chaplaincy program certification, including the badge
You
that
get a diploma. Yeah,
you get a diploma as well. You get access to our exclusive network, and there's so many other opportunities too. And so I would say that if for those who want more information about our programs, you can email the Godzu Chaplaincy Program at chaplains, that's CHAPLAINS, at godzu.org. And it's important to recognize that we have so many chaplains within Godzu, and they've told us that the self-study program has helped them overcome some, lost ones, and just being able to grieve as well as be able to celebrate life and help others as well as global workers of God.
I love it. And so now in a nutshell, and I like to begin with you, Sudan, where do you want to be in the next 10 years? Where do you see yourself? What are some of your goals? Let's begin with you.
So I do see myself as an alum of the prestigious Dream School, Georgetown University. I see myself doing a lot of philanthropy and ensuring that, I just make the world a better place in the way that I see it. And in my small actions, also my big actions, as it relates to my endeavors in pageantry, I hope to be a national talented teen, a past talented teen, because it will be 10 years, but I will be going to my nationals August of 2022, which is next year, and I hope to come home with that crown, with that national crown, come back to Sunshine, Florida. I'll also continue to expand my nonprofit, Reading with Royalty, and making a difference through civic engagement.
Again, wow. That seems to be a very common word for me on this interview. Wow. Amazing. Congratulations also for being Miss Black Florida Talented Teen to you, Sudan, and of course, Miss Black Florida USA to you, Cairo. God bless you both. God bless you both. Dakar, where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? What goals would you like to accomplish?
Yeah, so I briefly did mention that I would like to see going into different menswear, into the menswear arena. In 10 years, I'd like to expand my company, my companies. So I have so many employees that can work on the projects that are very time consuming and that I'm very good at, but may not be as desirable in doing. So that way I could take on some more projects that won't be as far as important as bringing in money, but different philanthropy work, as I mentioned, teaching children how to tie a tie or how to present themselves at a job interview. And so,
I love it. I
so
love it because that is so important. I don't know if you know this about me, probably not. And I don't know if our viewers know, probably not. When I first graduated from FIU with a record on political science, a degree in political science, a degree in psychology, and so many other certifications that I have, I went to work for the state employment office. And I can relate to what you're saying, Dakar. A lot of people, youngsters, they were coming, and some adults, I got to be honest, I got to call out the adults who, some adults didn't know how to dress. And one guy, I never remember, this really handsome guy, came in with very long hair, was not shaven. His hair looked dirty. His shoes weren't polished. Goes back to you with Kicks Restoration, Dakar. And I said to him, listen, this is called survival of the fittest. Darwin. I remember that. I studied that in science. Probably your father, Dr. Willis Eubanks, teaches that in one of his science classes, survival of the fittest. I said to him, listen, there's too much competition. If you really, really are interested in getting a job, you need to dress the part. I can't begin to tell you, the next week came, I didn't recognize him. I told the guy, you don't have an appointment with me. I had an appointment with him, but it was the same guy. His hair was perfectly cut. His shoes were perfectly polished. You don't have to have a lot of money to buy. You could go anywhere and buy whatever, as long as it's clean and nicely ironed. and you're looking good. That's all that matters. So Dakar, I'm looking forward to seeing you more grooming our future generations as they try to seek and becoming eagles and becoming very successful throughout our world. Well, Cairo, what about you? I mean, you've done so much. You're the oldest, and actually, the three of you done a lot. Where do you see another 10 years? Probably Miss Universe. Talk to us.
I have so many plans. I think if I were to boil it down to just a few, though, when it comes to bringing the world to Florida, we're going to be launching the entire program for students this fall. So please keep an eye out for more information. Our 1-year goal is to have 10 schools and organizations license our program. And we've already raised about $5,000 towards these sponsorships, and money's being put aside in this budget for opportunities to provide stipends to youth associates to build bringing the world to Florida. So my goal is, within the next 1 to 10 years to continue to offer opportunities for exposure, access, as well as opportunities. Another example of what I want to do as well is within the next 5 years, I'll be graduating law school. I already have my eyes set on several international law schools, but my concentration will be in arbitration and mediation. I'm going to follow in mom's footsteps. And I would say within the next 10 years, I am Miss Black Florida 2021, 2022. I would love to be able to continue to use my sash and crown as a way to inspire others and help them change, maybe challenge the misconceptions that they have about pageant queens or about what it means to be a title holder, and to continue to give back using my platforms to really amplify the work that is being done locally and continue to be that liaison.
Making a difference, the three of you.
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, our time is running out. I want to thank each and every one of you for being on Point Rachel Turgerman. You guys are legendary youth leaders. That's it. Legendary youth leaders. I want to thank you. Thank you for being here. Your monumental accomplishments are amazing. Congratulations. Like I said earlier, you definitely are an inspiration for our present and future generations. Is there a last minute message that you would like to leave our viewers with very succinctly? Sudan, we'll begin with you.
Yes, so as I mentioned earlier, I am the team title holder for the Sunshine State for the Miss Black USA pageant organization, representing 20 million amazing Floridians as Miss Black Florida Talented Teen. And I will be competing at my nationals August next year. And you can keep up with my pageant journey through my website, SudanEubanks.com, and my Instagram at SudanRose_. I am so grateful for this opportunity to share my love for civic engagement and encourage others to make a difference in their communities. Thank you so much, Dr. Rachel.
My pleasure. Thank you, Sudan. What about you, Dakar?
Yes. Once again, thank you again for the opportunity, and I'm very appreciative and love to be able to get you all help with your graphic design, printing, and media needs. You can see my QR code on the screen, how you can access my digital business card, and I look forward to helping you.
Thank you so much, Dakar. God bless you. Wish you the best of luck. And Cairo, let's hear from you, love.
Sure. I would love to share with you all is that, as a youth representative for New Future Foundation to United Nations since around 2014, I've always been confident in my leadership abilities, but realized my true purpose after being crowned and being Miss Black Florida, which is to inspire globally conscious leaders. And I want to continue to inspire people to do what they once thought was unachievable while building community bridges to bring the world to Florida. And if you would like to follow my journey, you can follow me on Instagram at officially_Cairo. You can also reach me at info@cairospeaks.com or reach me at 954-687-1108. And I just have to say, Dr. Turgerman, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to get to share my passion and commitment to being both a servant leader and global citizen. You are absolutely a blessing, and I'm grateful to have been a guest today alongside my incredible my siblings, including my sister and my brother.
Well, like I said, guys, to me, it's been a total honor and pleasure. Congratulations. Excellent work. Keep up the great work. You are powerhouse influencers. And usually when I talk about powerhouse influencers, they're a lot older than you, maybe in their 30s or 40s or 50s or even 60s or 70s. But you guys are super young and you are powerhouse influencers. God bless you. Keep up the fabulous work and we'll see you soon. And to all of viewers, thank you so much for tuning in into On Point with Rachel Turgerman. Keeping informed and staying connected allows all of us to make the right decisions. God bless you all. Stay healthy and safe. Bye-bye for now. No, you're good.